So, the importance of your higher self, or your highest self, or your immortal self, or as the Yoruba people call it, your ori, or your head, right? Spiritual head. The importance of this force of you to your individuation as a spirit, right? From source pops you. Apparently, we don't even know if that's totally true. Maybe this is all an illusion. There is no individuation, but it does seem that there is a hierarchy and individuation, branched out further and further, and fractals further and further. The angels, archangels, cherubim, etc., they're closer to the source, and then as we get further and further, right? It changes more and more. But the idea that you have an infinite self, a higher self, an individual spark, realistic, it's probably part of one branch or hierarchy. That's why they talk about having a spiritual father or mother, or having like a guardian angel, because you're actually part of that branch. Like you can trace your branch back to that archetype, which is closer to source, right? And so the higher self is the doorway to that. And so what I've learned is that any spirit, any entity that you wish to communicate with or work with, you first have to strengthen your connection with yourself, with your higher self. So how does one do this? In the Yoruba tradition that I'm familiar with, there's a, you don't have to copy this, but this is just an idea, right? Feeding the head with offerings of salt, gin, and honey, right? That's specific to that culture, right? But just like you light a candle for an ancestor, a loved one, or a spirit guide, you can also light a candle for your higher self. You can also leave an offering for your higher self. What I do is I like to drink water, right? And I dedicate this to my higher self. Coconut water is great because coconut is also related to spiritual communication. So drinking coconut water, you're dedicating this to your higher self, and how you actually do that can just be more ritualized, or just a simple acknowledgement that this is for my higher self. Thank you, higher self, right? You can say I drink this in the name of my higher self. You can do different ways, whatever feels more or less official in your comfort zone, right? You have to do something that feels weird. The idea is when you dedicate something you're consuming to your higher self, that strengthens the connection. Giving offerings, leaving out, dedicating it to your higher self, that intention alone puts the energy to you and makes you stronger and helps your spiritual communication with others.